Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and to the very first video of a brand new series in which I'm going to combine two things that you do not usually see together: well-being and language learning. Throughout my study years and working years as a pharmacist, I've always wondered how some people study less, have more fun in their lives, and still they learn more effectively. So that might not be about adding study hours to our schedule, but what is it about? Today we are going to explore this question. We are going to talk about the effects of well-being on our language learning journey, and I'll show you how taking care of your mind and body can actually make you a better, happier, and more effective language learner. So if you've ever felt exhausted, frustrated, or stuck, this video is for you. And that's time to pour yourself a glass of tea and join me in this video. So let's get started. Okay, let's start with the big question. Why even combine well-being with language learning? Well, think about it. You've been there, coming home after a long day and trying to learn a new vocabulary or a new grammar rule. And no matter how many flashcards you go through, it just does not click. Let's put it as a fun analogy. Your brain is like a sponge. An exhausted sponge cannot soak anything up, but a well-being, energized sponge soak it all up. And yes, science has confirmed this. The stress impairs working and memory, while relaxation and positive emotions can enhance retention. So well-being is essential for your language learning journey. And now we need to make this practical. Okay, here is a practical part. Physical well-being is a huge part of your overall well-being, and it can be broken down into three parts: sleep, nutrition, and also exercise. Your brain is like a supercomputer. When you sleep, it consolidates memory, and when you skip sleep, it's almost like saving a file into a full hard drive. It's not gonna work. And based on science, you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per day so that your brain would be able to recall all those knowledge that you want to use in your life. And then we get to nutrition. Here's the fun fact. Your brain is only 2% of your body weight, but it eats 20% of your energy. So it's kind of essential to keep it hydrated and feed it with good food so that it would help you with learning a new language. And finally, we have the exercise. Even a short walk or a few stretches before starting to study can help with blood flow and neuroplasticity so that you would learn better. And now, let's talk about the mental health. Let's imagine a situation. Try to listen to a whisper in a rock concert. It's impossible, isn't it? That's like studying with stress. Stress is a focus killer. So sometimes when you're stressed out, maybe the best hack is not to add study hours to your schedule, but to think about mindfulness and try to journal or take few breaths before starting to study. And here's what science says. A 2010 study from University of California showed that students who practice mindfulness meditation for 10 minutes a day experienced improved focus and reduced mind wandering. And another study in 2014 in the Journal of Education and Health showed that the students who meditated regularly reported lower stress and anxiety, which in turn improved academic performance. And finally, we get to my favorite part. In this Serie, except the other videos that I made and put on my YouTube channel and the future videos that I'm going to make, I'm not going to share any techniques with you. I'm going to share my story and my experiences, and I want you to think about these experiences and build your own habits and routines so that they would work for you. So if you're ready, let's hear my story. As a pharmacist, I work around 8 to 12 hours per day, and at the end of the day, I do not have the time nor the energy to study for another 2 to 4 hours. So instead of studying, I try to take a short walk, and in this walk, I try to listen to a podcast in my target language. At first, when I started doing this, I could only understood around 20 to 30% of the context. But nowadays, I can understand around 80 to 85% of the context and 70 to 75% of the new words that are used in that podcast. So the good news is that over time, your ear gets used to sounds and patterns, and you can improve your listening skill by only listening to a podcast around 30 minutes per day. And the other thing that I like to do is to cook in my target language. When I have the time, instead of just cooking the regular meal, I try to cook a new meal in my target language. I try to download the recipe in my target language, and while reading the recipe, I have to search for new words. So this way, I can learn 2 to 10 words per recipe in the context, so that the next time that I want to use those words, I know where and how to use them. And at the end of the task, I have a delicious meal and I've learned some new vocabulary. So it's a win-win situation. And in days that I have time to study, I try to take short breaks around 25 to 30 minutes between each study session. Well, that might not be short, but that's good because, after a long week of working, when I want to study in my days off, I have to make it fun for myself. And when I want to study for around 2 to 4 hours, I try to have 30 to 45 minutes of study sessions, and between these sessions, I try to take 25 to 30 minutes off. This way, I let my brain to refill its batteries and energize again to be energized for another study session. So these were the tips that I wanted to share with you. And let me tell you something before you close this page. I've made this Serie because I believe our world is so noisy. And if we do not care about ourselves, and if we do not take care of our mind and our body, we will just be frustrated along the way and we wouldn't be successful at the end. So I want you to be healthy and happy. Promise me that you are going to try to add some mental and physical exercises to your language learning routine, and I would be happy if you could share them in the comments with me. And if you've liked this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more language tips. And till the next video, bye!